To understand why an island the size of Belgium is at the center of global attention, we need to go back in time and peel moving layers of history, identity, and power. The relationship between the People's Republic of China and Taiwan is not just a simple territorial dispute. It is an open wound from a brutal civil war that never formally ended with a peace treaty. Today, we will dive deep into the history and the strategic reasons why Beijing considers Taiwan a rebel province that must be reunified with the mainland at any cost. In the early 20th century, after the fall of the Qing dynasty, China was thrust into a state of internal chaos. Two main ideological groups fought for the soul of the nation: the Kuomintang, or Nationalist Party, led by Chiang Kai-shek, and the Chinese Communist Party, led by Mao Zedong. After a brief and uneasy alliance to fight the Japanese invasion during World War II, their internal struggle intensified into a full-scale civil war. By 1949, the Communists had gained the upper hand, taking control of the mainland and establishing the People's Republic of China. The defeated Kuomintang forces, along with millions of refugees, fled across the strait to the island of Taiwan. They took with them the gold reserves and the government of the Republic of China, claiming they were still the only legitimate rulers of the entire Chinese nation. For decades, both sides lived in a frozen conflict, each claiming to be the real China. Taiwan was initially a strict military dictatorship under martial law, but starting in the late 1980s and 1990s, the island underwent a dramatic transformation. It evolved into one of the most vibrant and transparent democracies in Asia, fostering a unique Taiwanese identity that feels increasingly distinct from the mainland. Meanwhile, mainland China underwent its own transformation, growing with unprecedented speed to become a global economic and military superpower, never wavering in its sacred claim over the island. This is where the modern geopolitical puzzle gets complicated. Most countries, including the United States, officially recognize only one China, the government in Beijing, to maintain diplomatic peace. However, many of these same nations maintain informal trade, cultural, and military relations with Taiwan through unofficial representative offices. Today, Taiwan functions as a fully independent state in everything but name. It has its own constitution, a democratically elected president, its own powerful military, and a highly respected passport. Yet, Taiwan has never formally declared independence under the name Taiwan because Beijing has made it clear that such a move would be a red line leading to immediate war. Beijing maintains that Taiwan is an inalienable part of its territory and that reunification is a historical inevitability, to be achieved by peaceful means if possible, but by military force if necessary. There are three primary reasons for Beijing's increasing pressure and the global concerns surrounding it. First is the powerful force of nationalism and political legitimacy. For the Communist Party, bringing Taiwan back into the fold is the final, essential chapter in ending what they call the century of humiliation. President Xi Jinping has repeatedly stated that the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation will not be complete without Taiwan. It is a matter of national pride, internal stability, and the legacy of the party. Second is the cold reality of geopolitics and the first island chain. Taiwan is strategically vital due to its location. It sits right in the middle of a geographic barrier of islands that, if controlled by China, would allow its navy to break out of the coastal waters and gain unrestricted access to the deep waters of the Pacific Ocean. This would directly challenge the naval hegemony that the United States has maintained in the region since 1945. Third is the modern concept of the silicon shield. Taiwan dominates the global production of high-end semiconductors. A single company, TSMC, manufactures over 90% of the world's most advanced microchips, which are the brains inside everything from your smartphone and medical equipment to AI servers and sophisticated fighter jets. Whoever controls Taiwan holds significant leverage over the digital oil of the 21st century, creating an economic interdependence that makes any conflict potentially catastrophic for every nation on Earth. What happens next is the world's most dangerous guessing game. Tensions have rarely been higher as China ramps up military drills, naval blockades, and diplomatic isolation against the island. At the same time, Taiwan continues to strengthen its unique identity, its civil society, and its asymmetric defense capabilities. The international community watches with extreme caution because a conflict in the Taiwan Strait would not just affect two neighbors. It would paralyze global supply chains and potentially draw the world's largest nuclear powers into a direct confrontation. The fate of Taiwan remains the greatest question mark in modern geopolitics. It is a beacon of democracy to some, and the final missing piece of a historic empire to others.